Bese promisile ke sathi we will bring you interview ka SANDISILE-NDEVU. Ukhona ke ulapha e studio as promised. So ke sizothetha naye ke namhlanje. Of course we're going to allow him ukuthi asixelele uba ungubani before we get into it. So Putwam kunjani?
Ndiyaphila ntakhona kunjani?
You're right akhona.
Ewe bawo.
So yeah, get into it. Usichazela uba uSANDISILE-NDEVU kubani?
Oh yeah. uSANDISILE nguNDEVU. Uzalelwe e-Eastern Cape. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a writer, but yeah, ndithanda ukwaziwa njenge-writer actually because I was born as a writer. I was born with a gift yoba ngombhali, so that's more important kuba ndaziwe ngabantu as a writer rather than anything else, but being a writer.
uSANDISILE-NDEVU was involved kwi film ezimbini that stand out.
Yeah.
The first one being ISILILO-THE, OUTCRY, which was produced in 2020 in Western Cape, Hermanas. And then the second one being 1960, that's currently showing ku SHOWMAX.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going to talk about 1960 a little bit later, but let's find out from ISILILO. Uguti, because there's one thing that's very inspiring about ISILILO, the OUTCRY, that it was shot within a very short space of time. So I'm imagining ukuthi xa kushutwa films, there's many people involved, like many parties involved.
Yeah.
And having to shoot within a short space of time comes with its own pressure and things like that. So I just want to find out ngale film kanye ukuthi ISILILO, what can you tell umntu who's watching it, nomntu omameleyo, ukuthi what that film is about before we get into the making of the film?
ISILILO, it actually touches on a very sensitive storyline or a very sensitive topic because it involves a domestic violence, which is something esibona each and every day. Something that happens each and every day to our close relatives. It's something that happens to our close friends, to our neighbors, to our church mates, you know. So that inspiration I had for upala la film, actually, it was to try to educate, you know, our people, or try to open amehlo abantu bakuthi about what is happening in the world and what dangers it involves if umuntu abusive relationship, what can happen kuwe. You know, because that film, you see umama notata besilwa while they are raising a child, and that child is experiencing all that. You know, so that thing, it affects abantwana actually, because growing up kula vibe, it really destroys you as a child. And it really destroys you as someone oyibukelayo from the distance. You know, if umeza wako uyalwa and you uyabeva nawe, somehow yak-affecta nawe, you know. So that's why I decided to name it ISILILO, because it's that sound you always hear, kusiliwa, that sound, you know, always, even if it ayenzeki kuwe, but you know, it really affects you. Especially as a kula environment, and you can't stop it.
Would you Kamnandi, you've highlighted ukuthi ezizinto zenzeka kubani, you know, kwindawo ezinjani ebomini bakho mhlambi through friends, family members, did you also experience into efana naleyo?
Yeah, you know, to tell you what, I'll first I will say dukulele ukhuliswa kumntu ongumXhosa, utata ongumXhosa. I don't mean it in a bad way. I don't mean it in a bad way. Sure. But ukhuliswa indoda yomXhosa.
Yeah.
They have that mentality yokuba they have that mentality yokuba I must be
dim
you know kumele
Yeah,
ndivakale
dim
uba
intloko.
ndim intloko and
Yeah.
kukhala isicathulo sam apha ne nizawuva ngam, not knowing ukuba loo nto leyo ikuhlukumeza kanjani wena as a child or affecta kanjani wena as a partner, you know, or even now it happens ingengomuntu ongutata, but it happens with the family members. The way basebenzisa ngakhona amazwi, they just cut deep, you know. So it affects me also because I live with people who can be very toxic. They have that toxicness.
Yeah.
And abantu abaziboni, but they have a toxicness. It can be a friend, it can be a church mate, it can be a family member.
Exactly,
So now I grew up in society, which it affects me now as a person. That's why I invested in the feelings zam, emotions zam, kwesa story, because now dingxenye yaloo nto leyo.
And I think gender-based violence, or just violence in general, has become something that is so closely knit near communities. Tina, I think as Pilaguzo, that's why when you say it's such a sensitive, you know, topic, it definitely is, and it's something that I feel like almost everyone can relate with, you know. And for the longest time we lived not knowing by certain things that we say zirongo yabo, or like certain characteristics as is exhibitayo zirongo, we accepted a lot, but when you see it on screen being played back, it ends up being sort of like a mirror, you know, into the life that you're living, and then you start realizing, but but that's Bangman, that's me, you know, and you see that. So would you say about that's exactly what you were sort of like going for with this movie?
Listen, Yabona, but let me tell you something. Now, without having this conversation, now we are three sitting here. I can be toxic while still up in the environment now.
Yeah.
By only having this conversation, by exchanging of words.
Yeah.
You know? So it really has impact now with dealing with people, you know, kwaziwa ngabantu aba close ku kwaziwa abantu abaseceleni kwakho, but with words.
Yeah.
With how they use amagama, it just cuts deeper sometimes.
Definitely.
You know, now that we are here, I can use igama that will not sit you right, but the right thing is to say, you know, let's address it now, instead of ublide uhambe uye kokwenu uphuma kwakho apha emsebenzini ublide uhamba kokwenu singayi-addressa ngalona iqala up, because next time I'm not gonna use igama that will make you bleed, but maybe I'll be
actually make you bleed.
Maybe I'll be trying to be physically. So Isililo only focuses kumntong data on that movie, otheni obetha umuntu ongumama, but then it happens uba kukhona data aba abuse ngabantu abangomama, not physically but verbal
abuse, yes,
you know. So we don't address ezo zinto. So as a story sithetha ngezinto that are currently happening, you know, in our lives, izinto that involves us sisonke.
I really like that. I think it is fundisa nento enchuba, you know, there was a comment saying sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never hurt me, or something like that. But now we're relearning, but no, actually sticks and stones, if you think about it, are actually better, because better good, but words cut deeper than that. Exactly. And they can't be seen by someone else, but they have felt eternity like inside of you. So I'm so happy that you actually mentioned that, you know. And
the film was shot within 48 hours.
Tell us about the challenges that you faced in order to pull that off, or was that part of the plan?
Or was it just easy, because you can't thing, you know, like now 48 hours, no way to
you know, the interesting part is that in 2020, you know, we had COVID-19. So we were dealing with COVID-19.
Challenge number one.
That's the first challenge. And then I lost my grandma I think it was in June. We're very, very close with my grandma. So I lost my grandma in June, and I had always have this calling of wanting to be a writer.
Yeah.
Because firstly, I wanted to be a writer. I didn't know what's filmmaking. I don't even know. I don't know what's filmmaking. All I know, I'm just a writer. I have these stories in my head that I want to write.
You were led by passion.
Exactly. I will sit around 3 a.m. writing stories.
Wow.
You know, I can't sleep because these characters are demanding on my head. So then after we came back from Wiki funeral Kamakuluam, I was very, very angry. I was very, very angry. I was grieving. And then a friend of mine, Estelle, she's based in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Currently writing for Gomora and I think Unikiwe now. I'm not really sure. And there's another series Ipalile on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that friend of mine told me about 48-hour film challenge. I was like, okay, but it was based for Johannesburg. Like, it's a Joburg. And she was like, no, wait for Zapa Cape Town, because also Cape Town in this challenge.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wait for Cape Town because I don't know it's a figure.
Yeah.
I just wanna do a film nan. So on some computer nan. So but they were busy making a film yabo nabo.
Yeah.
While I was shooting, nam they've busy nayam. Then she told me everything that I needed to do. She just transferred. She just sent me a number ka Natalie, who was the producer I say Johannesburg, because this challenge is each and every province in a producer con. So she sent me a number ka Natalie. Then I called Natalia and she was very, very kind. You know, then Kaluyan's film, and to have these people, you always have millions of questions because you don't even understand what you're doing.
Definitely.
I never made a film before ISILILO. You know, that was the craziest part. I don't even know where to start.
So this was your debut project. And how do you feel about that after everything was done? What can you take away from that experience?
You know, that was the most amazing experience ever, because I can make films now, but as soon as it's the first film without having any clue.
It's like your baby.
Yeah. Actually, it is my baby. I love it. I love it so much because the dendens are even with the hoodies for you, and I just, you know, to keep it close to me, because it was my first film. I wrote the film, and then I have to call a friend of mine from Johannesburg, Ulusapo. I had to call that guy. Please come and help direct me this film, because I have no idea what's really happening here. And then we started forming a team, all that, and then we did it.
Wow.
And I did it with my pocket money, because Ababa say Johannesburg, they had a privilege of fund with the Johannesburg, but I had nothing, because in the end and daughter in Cape Town.
And don't you find it's something that happens a lot when you're starting out with a certain dream? There's a time where you have to put in your blood, sweat, and tears, and your personal finance into that as well.
Invest in your dreams.
Definitely. Also, I wanted to ask what your role was in this film. So now I'm hearing about you were sort of like, you started it, you wrote it, you directed it, like you were part of all of that.
No, I wrote the script.
Yeah.
And then I was an executive producer.
Yeah.
Because I was still very new to the industry.
Yeah.
I do Tanduba all over, you know.
Yeah.
I was very scared. I had to call Ulusapo from Johannesburg, like, dude, please
help
come
me
and
out.
direct.
Yo.
Please come and direct this. I have no money to pay you because we are all volunteering.
Yeah.
So like, dude, come. And you know what, Ulusapo Suka from Johannesburg get passed because we didn't have money.
Yo.
He was tired and came back Friday. That time, shoot from Friday. He arrived that day.
Yo, that's
we shot for 48 hours with no rest.
Dang.
I respect that guy, and we're still very close.
Yo, and how was the recruiting process? Because I suppose now you have to have people acting out these roles. How was that?
You know, the universe will surprise you. Everything was starting to align,
falling in place.
Like, wow.
Yeah, here's my. I'm trying to imagine, with the little that I know when it comes to filmmaking.
Yeah.
Quick interviews, you'll find out an actor will tell you about, oh no, they have manuscript 3 months before. Went through the script, I loved it, I said, okay, I'm on board. When are you had 48 hours? Does that mean, Uguti, if we are starting the clock now, saying, okay, we're setting a clock here to 48 hours, does it mean this is the only moment now you are running around looking for actors and including sharing a script nabo for them to go through it and then deciding ukuthi they want to be part of it? Or did you talk to them prior, like before?
No,
Before time.
Firstly, you just have to form a team, you know. But nigga that chance to form a team, meet and greet, you know, with your team before you start writing. Then you can, on Friday, when they say, we're starting now for 48 hours, then you and your team decide what story you wanna run a ride.
So this was like a race.
Yeah, it is a race.
Of how many teams were involved?
We had 67 or something filmmakers.
Yay!
Wow.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I thought the film had to be 48 minutes.
No,
but you get time to, so the writing,
the producing, the shooting, the editing.
Wow.
You have to do it in 48 hours. And here how it tricky is it gets because anyazi January you film militin. You wait for that time okay, you guys are doing maybe a drama.
Yeah.
The film, or you guys are doing a comedy. So you cannot say here's my script, sizawushuta le film. You're not sure because you have to write it and do it in 48 hours. And then they add a character. Yabo, in the lines chopper. So you have to say, okay, we have this character by Dingayo. Here are the lines. Because the script is now, so one thing.
Let's take a breather.
Subscribe, Ziyakhipha6to8. Spetty content yakho is a date. Cause how you relate. Subscribe, Ziyakhipha6to8. Spetty content yakho is a date. Cause how you relate.
So we're still talking about e-production ISILILO, the Outcry, which took 48 hours. So this was a competition. It include teams abantu abayi
like 67
teams. Yeah. So there were 67 films produced.
Yeah.
And then they had to go head to head to check ukuthi, you know.
Can I add something little?
Yeah.
I just want to say, to clarify for people that haven't done the math yet, 48 hours is 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days. Yeah.
That you've got 48 hours before they charge you. Something like that. Something like that. So you are saying that this is a competition that takes place every year?
Yes.
Meaning Klonyaka in 2023 August. There's another one.
Yeah, so there's another one. Cape Town is hosting Cape Town 48-hour film project also, which is 2023.
So abantu can just take their phones back, Google
it.
Yeah, and then find details.
I don't have to have a degree.
You don't really need a degree, but listen, you have to work with the professionals because you need someone who's going to be your cinematographer. You need someone who's going to produce for you. You need someone who's going to be your editor. You need someone who's going to be your writer, all that. So you do actually need abantu abayifundele.
I see. And that's why I asked, because I wanted to know the requirements. But is it just anyone can hop on or? Okay.
Do they explain all of that online?
Yes, they do explain, but you can even use your phone to film. Yeah. You don't really need equipment, but it depends with the quality.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know, because we are in the competition. Everyone has something a best.
Yeah.
Ingaba wena personally open to umntu mhlambi who wants assistance, who wants to get involved. They might go online, read up some stuff, but now they want to know a little bit more. Are you personally open with some sort of guidance?
You know what they say, because you're sitting here now with me, it's because someone else helped me.
Okay.
So I wouldn't mind helping someone of Nugenzalendo because we all need to get where we want to be.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we have to climb on someone else, you know, to get where we want to be.
So we'll make sure we get your details at the end of the interview. So
please.
Yeah, people must stay tuned.
and my burning question is, can I still watch the film?
Yes, of course. It's still on YouTube. You can just
what do I search?
You can just type ISILILO-THE Outcry. You'll see it.
Wow. And how long is it?
It's an 8-minute movie.
Yo.
Imagine.
So you're telling the whole story within 8 minutes.
That was a challenge.
You had to shoot for 2 days.
That is challenging.
Edit, cut it down to 8 minutes. Are there any scenes that you had to delete?
Of course, and that is the saddest part, because each and everyone also wanted to be involved, especially actors, and now we have to cut this scene here because clash.
Talking about actors, you are based a Western Cape in Hermanus, right? A small town. Did you only work with abantu from Hermanus, or there were people from outside of Hermanus? In terms of actors, the people acting in the film.
Most abantu I used kabase Cape Town. You know, most about they did theater, so I had to. You
want people with experience.
One thing about me ngomsebenzi wami na ndifuna something ezakwazi ubukeleka. I want something ezakwazi uncomeka. I want something ezaba very successful. So I try by all means not to, but I didn't have that experience yokwenza film.
Yeah.
So it was gonna be a flop doing something nomuntu ongenayo kwa idea yalendo. So I had to go ndifuna abantu who can at least do it. So I had to Asanda Khalijan. She was the lead and she was good. And then I had the other actor.
That's the one playing your role, Gazwalega.
Yes, yes. Okay. And she was part of Eland. What's this? The Woman King.
Wow.
Recently.
Wow.
So you're working with Nabantu. I would like to use El Kamales clause. Abantu abavuthweyo.
Exactly. Bazovutiswa kwa mna lo.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Did you have extras?
Yes, we did have extras. Just like a friend of mine, she was pregnant and like sikufuna pa. But unfortunately, she couldn't make it because we had to cut 8 minutes bilapa, and we had Lomdano Ipe, the one who was crying, making ISILILO. So she was she's from Hermanus. So I did use actually Abanbalapa, but I still try ubafaga actually into this filmmaking with me.
Yeah, and Shem, we can't really fault you for that. We do want to see people from our communities, uplifting people from our communities, but I think we also, as Mpakadi, need to understand that we can't both be on the ground and lift each other up. Like, someone has to be at a higher ground. And right now, I feel like you are doing that for us. Like, you are hustling so that one day you'll have the ability to also pull us up to where you already are.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're welcome to talk.
Because I have a plan actually with developing abantu basikas, because I'm from Hermanus.
Yeah. I
don't have a problem with working abantu base Cape Town, with the actors as a Cape Town.
Yeah.
But understand this, or have this picture of this. I'm taking umdu from Ekailich and Imse Hermanus. Whereas I can work nomdu or Hermanus.
Yeah.
Those people they get opportunities from someone as Hermanus, whereas I can work Naban Balap.
Yeah.
So but the problem is we don't as not song see experience with this.
Yeah.
Industry.
Yeah.
So I have to mix umdu on experience nomdu alapa ongena experience, so that it can be a transferal of skills.
It definitely
So I had to take utatu Chris Kalaba as an actor no ndimdibanise nomdu alapa ongena experience. Then utatu Chris Kalaba will transfer the skill your actor. There's a moment where Ozabang not an actor but a teacher on set. Umdu alapa ongena idea. So I had a longest conversation no Lebu, a friend of mine was a Free State.
Yeah.
Lebu, she was like, listen, I like the idea that you're trying to tell stories, trying to make movies, but stories are libalek. Sometime you will make this film and then what? You will make that film, it made we'll see it go land with cinemas, we'll see it on TV. After some time, after 5 years, libel. But now rather than build something as a empire, so we decided, like, how about we have a program opposite Trainer Corner, a directors opposite Trainer Corner, producers opposite Trainer Corner, editors, cinematographer, you name them, from Apekas.
You know,
so that when we make these films, you don't have to go to Cape Town.
All the way, exactly.
Sinabanbetu. And that will build our own, it will contribute to our own local economy.
Yes.
It will contribute to our tourism.
Okay.
Sorry. I was
Go
just
ahead,
thinking
Shannon.
about, like, I really love what you're saying now and what you're talking about. And I want you to elaborate, like, even further. But I want to leave that towards the end of our interview. And just, like, get back to, I want to know a bit more about.
Yeah. When it comes to le film, one, it was so successful that iyadlalwa ku Stechenico, right?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, it was on Stechenico.
Cinemas. And zikhona manje izinto that I feel ukuthi you have not highlighted. One, we talked about actors that you brought, abantu aba well experienced,
Yeah.
bakwazi ukuthi work nabantu abangena experience so that bakwazi share, I would say skills sharing, ne?
Yeah.
Yes. And then you also had extras. There's the issue of locations zokushuta. Umzekelo, we want a scene apho lo lead actor mhlambi is a bedroom, and a bedroom kufuneka be nalento nalento. So, and then mhlambi kukho a scene whereby umuntu uzobanjwa a police station into ezinjalo. So we are talking about locations. What were the challenges in getting ezo locations that you guys used in the film?
In the 48 hours.
Within the 48 hours, in terms of applying and if there's a need to apply and things like that?
You know, when it comes to location scouting, when it comes to location permits,
Yeah.
that's a really pain. Like, that's a struggle that and this I experience even now.
Is it because of experience or nayo? Do you think mhlambi if you were in a different position, mhlambi let's say ungumuntu ungosaziwayo,
Yeah.
right? Do you think it would be easier, or mhlambi it's just nje kumthetho that makes it difficult?
No, I think it has to do with an organizational culture. You know, I don't mean it in a bad way. And when you start shooting a film up ezwelihle, what happens is that you will see a group yabantu beqokelelana discussing about what is he doing, what are they doing.
Yeah.
Banali
Curiosity.
ilungelo lokwenza lento bayenzayo.
Yeah.
Why they doing this apha elokishini yethu? It's like you're doing something wrong emehlweni wabo. Whereas abantwana babo they playing a soccer estradini freely.
Yeah.
Omnye udlala netball freely, omnye usekwayeni freely, but you carrying cameras. It feels like it's something wrong. Oyenzayo kubo.
Yeah.
They don't want it. Some of them, they don't really want lento films. It was a struggle. Sisaqala, it was a struggle because we use even I don't want to go there. We use someone as a professional osebenza umthetho, and I do feel like he felt like threatened kumphakathi. So abantu bakuthi abakayiqheli lento ye-films. It was a struggle.
So you missed information, and also just like a fear of security, because I'm sure like they are probably belief systems abanazo that make them believe about like something is wrong. So do you think maybe it could be something, it could be easier if there's an engagement maybe with the community prior, which is challenging if you're making a film that is short because you don't have the time to be explaining to everyone ba senzandoni up.
Listen, you know, you cannot communicate with everyone.
Oh,
you cannot. You know, you just go to those people that you think they are relevant. But
Yeah.
this is what I want to do. And then they give you the approval. Go for it.
yeah.
And then there are some people abangayifumana the information because baninzi. Now they're starting having a problem with that. But the same people are having a problem with ukwenza ifilm in their community are the same people who go and sit babukele uzalo. The same people who are sitting now babukele unikiwe. Same people who watch Igomora.
Yeah.
Not knowing ukuthi the same people abangabafuniyo in their community, they are the people abawriter Igomora. Because Estelle was here when we were struggling to get these permits. A friend of mine from Johannesburg. She's writing Igomora. The same people abatanda Moja Love. But what is this year? Jola 99.
Yeah.
George was shooting my film ISILILO and they didn't like us. George is shooting Uya Jola 99 and he was here.
So you think mhlambi because ingathi abantu that you are mentioning are more of abantu who are behind the scenes kwezezinye films that you mentioned or as productions like Uyajola 99, do you think mhlambi it's something to do with ukungabikho well informed kwethu thina as a community? Sibona nje ama camera siyabona, you know, but we don't recognize mhlambi these faces othetha ngazo.
Exactly.
But okay, hey, ubalekile lo muntu ubona nje yes awumazi but ubaleke kakhulu because la favorite show uyibukelayo nangu umuntu oyishutayo, you just didn't know. Now, did you have the same issue? Okay, one, do you think it's ukuba ungabikho well informed? I wanted for you to confirm that.
Yeah.
All right. You also had to shoot a police station.
Yes.
Bezikhona mhlambi challenges, was it easy ukuthi, you know, because I'm imagining mna no Charlotte mhlambi sifuna uyoshoota epolice siqala ngapi, and I saw a picture of him enxibe ilanduka i-bulletproof yomthetho. So I'm like, you know, how easy is it? Who do we approach? You know, ithatha ixesha lingakanani to get into ezifana ne-approval mhlambi?
You know, when I first went there, like on the help desk njengomntu wonke, like, guys, can you please help me ndifuna ushoot film yam apha in police station? And there was that lady, you know, those police people, they like, hey ayizikwenzeka loo nto leyo, kunini siza apha ndifuna ukwenza ifilimu ibaninzi ifilimu ethele nifuna uyenza nonke. I didn't even know uba kukho abanye abantu abafuna ukwenza ifilimu when I went there. And just like that, ndabe ndifuna umphathi wase-police station, and she was like, no akekho, and that was it.
Gumntu ongaphambili
no, that police woman, and then I was like, I have that spirit of not quitting. I will never give up on something. I will try by all means to get what I want. So I keep on searching, but I'm not allowed to mention the people.
Yes.
But I tried by all means, and then it's a provisional captain. Then when I go back there now, I'm sending now, you know.
Yes, authority.
Confidence, like, hey, there's no shooter, okay.
Yeah.
And I'll spend it because I didn't go where man shoot. I want this, I want the poster, I want this, I want the van, I want this. And they were so shocked. I want the Namazo Tina, blah, 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 blah. But now I'm shooting. That's what is important.
Okay, mhlambi, because mnandi this is a curious child. And I believe bakhona nabanye o curious child abafuna ukwazi. You've got the scene yaseziseleni. Isele benisebenzisa ibihlelele nje ingena abantu okanye kuye kwanyanzeleka ukushiftwa abantu for uba nisebenze. And you don't have to answer.
Okanye bakhululwa baphume for the day baphinde babuye late.
You know, because it was very exciting and everyone was excited to have us actually.
Okay.
Now
with our camera,
with all the cameras. Yeah. And there was that guy, I won't mention them because that's on Bamba. That guy, I was in a guy who was like, why? I think I can't necessarily inside because why is it vulela kuzo zonke za sell? Even zigcwele amabanja, and he was telling those guys by, hey, phakam ubaxelwe wena ubanjelwe ntoni. When I tell I don't necessarily got the
he was just excited.
Yeah, he was just excited. But then sasebenzisa a very empty cell to shoot there, and everything sasitting asaynikwa.
Okay. Kaphandle ko shooter in our community eKasi nase station. There's phezing mhlambi locations. Did you have to shoot mhlambi town in the suburbs?
No, because that was the story for a township, for a township, you know, for a township area. So I didn't want to mix everything. But now to answer that question, because I'm actually struggling with these location permits. It's a story, so it was luckily because that's the only police station with the rural areas. Now, the current movie that I'll be busy shooting. I've started shooting it, then I decided, no, we need to pause and then check but actually in the production. You know, I'm struggling with the location permits. Because now when you shoot stories, you're a developer. And they need, maybe I used a police station. Now I need to expand the story. I need the relevant departments.
Like a court
to come on board.
Like
you mentioned that. You mentioned that. I went to court and when I go to court and I'm telling this lady, like, listen, I need a permit in funa shoot up a court because I have this story and I call by nobuzobaseleka because I've already shot as in a police station. So and I'm happy to give you the evidence.
Yeah.
Your previous movie I once worked with the relevant department.
Yeah.
And that didn't work.
Hey.
Yo.
Listen, that didn't work, and I asked because I always tell you, before there's something, I do my research and I ask about filmmaking, about is it doable or what?
Yeah.
And then Sis she explained, but yes, they actually do shoot a movie on a court, but you only use it on weekends.
Yeah.
And then now, and then now that I'm busy working on my film project, I did my research. They said I should send the email to them. I did send the email months ago, even today. I never got the response. Then now I like, okay, I'm not gonna stop because once the shift down and the scene, okay, and cut out the scenes, story I saw this bay land on the funas bay.
You lose them clues.
And then I have to like move out. Monday I'm in the Cape Town because
Permit, ipumapi.
You should permit ipuma on Komaspal, you know, the tourism offices.
All right.
Yes,
but not a court.
Not a court. No, because a court it belongs to the public state. Ipuma kubo.
Or usebenza court kuyafuneka ufumane permit kwapha e court ukusebenza la court.
Yes, a court.
Interesting.
So, but now if you want to use it, luckily now you must pala on a court.
Oh yes, you must pala on
still the same. Does abantu boya kwabona?
Maybe baseza. You'd
please.
Say. Yeah.
So I really managed to get abantu bangaphandle now. You know, I'm gonna moving with my film. The aim was to do in complete film in Hermanas.
Yeah.
But because of the organizational culture and because of the gatekeepers, I have to move out to Cape Town. And the Cape Town Bazenza movie on court, Bazenza on hospitals. It's been a struggle because relevant departments.
Also I think misinformation plays a major role in a lot of this, you know, and not people not being able to see another person's vision also plays a lot into that.
And the other guy who was helping me in the relevant departments, I was like, I was like, Hermanas, excited. Forget.
So I think in all of this, I just want to know, like, my burning question right now is, when did this passion for you start? Like, take me back to before you answer that. Actually, I want to know if Daniel still has any more questions to ask on the movie.
Yes, bengikhale ukuthi nje usinike highlights of that movie and then sikwazi ukuthi si move on. Your personal highlights ukuthi, you know, shooting the ISILILO.
You know, shooting ISILILO, I work with a very amazing, crazy crew. You know, sometimes
yeah,
we do have to fight. Like, it always happens everywhere. Any work environment, there are always fights. That's the thing abantu abangafuna understand. We become colleagues when we shooting, not friends.
Yes.
We become colleagues. So meaning sizawunyathelana while we busy working. It happens everywhere. But abantu don't want to notice that because since I think we in the film industry, they making it look like something else, but each and everywhere.
Yeah.
But I had a very amazing experience with them, and I'm willing to work with any of them anytime, and I'm willing to help, and we're very close. There's this guy, Mr. Lou. He's now a manager. Who's this guy? What is this? Naramapiano. Who's this guy? I forgot the names.
We'll remember later on.
Yeah. But he's doing great. Mr. Lou is doing great. I make sure they are in supporter because we once worked together and he made us had a great time on set.
Yeah.
So we do support our Banjala. We do keep the relationships. And the most amazing part is when we won an award.
Wow.
That was
for ISILILO.
For ISILILO, yes. It was nominated as a best story, and then I won an award for biggest fan of 48 hour.
Wow.
project, because I was the only one who came from all the way from Cape Town to Johannesburg to watch my film.
It. Wow. It says a
Yeah.
lot about you and your character and the passion that you
Yeah.
have for what you do. I want you to take me back, because I think filmmaking, it's such an out of the box career in our society, in our community. Singabantu abamnyama. For when did you recognize, but no, this is where my talent actually lies?
I think this is a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
Because abantu understand why we're doing this. They will never understand you. Tata your own money, your own pocket money. Film instead of buying yourself the expensive phones, the expensive sneaker, and all that.
Yeah.
I realized that I have this passion when I was very young. You know, we grew up watching all generations, Ganje.
Yes, when 8 o'clock was 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you wouldn't miss.
Cannot miss Generation.
Never. You wanted to see Uspusis Odloma, so we all watched Ilendo E-Generations.
Yeah.
And then while I was watching E-Generations during those days, I realized that there's something after Nkabobugeli Generations. I want to tell a story. Land Bichung Uspusis Odloma is still on my head.
Yeah.
All those lines, they're still on my head. And then there's this conflict characters on my head.
The dialogue.
Yeah. Then I started taking a paper and a pen, then the current ball.
Wow.
Same thing as in those Kukarabo, all those characters. And then I had to mix in Nezamge now.
Look, you need to add
now,
five.
You know, I want drama now.
Yes.
So I started writing my own generations in a piece of paper. Yeah.
Yes.
Then I realized, no man, because in Kula now, there must be someone so that they can respond in the because I can't just say something then you say something. It won't make sense. Because
be consistent.
You know.
Yes.
So I decided to search about who's behind those people about
Wow.
Palalando. Then I discovered about there is actually a head writer, Usis Bongindaba, who was writing for E-Generations. Then I knew, like, yes.
And I want our viewers to keep this name in mind, because I just feel like there's a testimony here, you know, that we're gonna be talking about as we move further further on in the story. And then when you were writing that, did you have your family members or maybe cousins or sisters or brothers like play out the script that you wrote, or was it something that you just wrote for yourself?
At first, there was only me writing these stories. Then I will have my dad reading these stories. Like, oh, okay. But Yambona and I cannot plan, but what are you going to do with this? What career is this? Because I get on the family or in Zalendo. We just watch TV. I come to Smazi on the TV, like, at least if it was something else, maybe based on a plan, but okay, this is where you have to go. Now I'm just writing the films. I will use the laptop with my stories.
And my goodness, that it's what I'm getting out of this is that because it was such an out of the box career field or whatnot, that your father was not familiar with, but there still was a sense of support that you sort of like got.
Yeah, because it was satisfying just to have someone reading your story. Even though just one person like wow, and they start back normal like no and then I had this opportunity while I was in grade 9. Melissa sends a presentation about the careers to do the research, and then I researched Ikamalgasis Bongi, head writer, so I had to write about script writing. I had to present and tell them like, listen here, I want to be a script writer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
You, because Klausekas we out here. First things first, isoka yaktala.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing ukuthi when you went a different route.
Yeah.
This is not I don't know mhlambi uSharlotte ekukhuleni kwakho how many people can you count who are script writers from apho ukhulele khona in the black communities.
Listen here, so even namhlanje, it's the first time I'm actually thinking about it actively. You know, I grew up watching television, but ingqondo yami zange indise to the production part of whatever it is that I'm watching. I was just nje surface level, and I think a lot of people are like that. So for me, it's quite incredible that when you went beyond just what we're seeing and you went to behind the scenes to come up with this.
And that's
career.
special.
Yeah.
You know what makes me sad right now? I have that sad feeling that really comes to me right now because, you know, we're sitting here talking about I'm a filmmaker, blah, 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 all that.
Yeah.
But there's a person I think who contributed to career as a writer, which is my dad. Because I really didn't play soccer, you dinkomo when it comes to soccer. But my dad usually made me a writer. Made me a reader. He will bring newspapers for me to read. He will bring me books, novels, all that. So I was a book nerd in Tisakula, and these stories started playing on my mind while in the piece in Funda. Even today, I read a lot of books. So he really contributed career. Even now, I think it's because of his contribution. And it's sad because he passed away. What I was doing to my child is a mega.
Yeah.
You know.
It's always so encouraging when you hear abazali abanegalelo eli positive empilweni zabantwana babo, especially with regards to the career choices, you know. And it's so unfortunate that he didn't live long enough to see the seed that he had helped cultivate, you know, back in the day. But I think also off air you shared with us that you also produced church plays.
Oh yeah.
So you were a hit already.
I'm telling you, like I made sure in a funny way that they don't recognize, but I'm pushing them and the zama food feel this thing you know, this hunger elapa ngabo. So I made sure each and every year sends a sketch and I will play the part guys because I wanted to deliver.
Oh ngola ngipasika.
Jonga ndimuyezi kubetelelwa mna.
Lead role because kaya nje lead role is
so exactly. So what I did actually hence how I'm saying I'm a director, I'm a writer, because benhlanganisa Bible verses. You know, Bible is a trigger because it's like look la part I show you class scene look. The next thing I'm going to you have to read a Bible. And all those scripts from a Bible. That Sabasi script. Then we go. Let's act. It's funny be truth. And it really touched Abanyabandu, like really. So it's a platform. Like in fulfill this hunger I wanna be, you know, being a writer, I wanna do the acting, I wanna tell the story.
Yeah.
So I had the platform to tell the story first.
Wow.
Yes, bayacho bathi ke bathi icawe especially emntaneni iyamnceda ukuthi one a develop izinto ezifana nabo confidence yokuthetha phambi kwabantu abaninzi. You know, as I'm hearing from your story sakho, that not only that but also you guys could act phambi kwabazali, you know, and you get that feedback like in real time. You get to see the reaction ebusweni babazali xa ubethelelwa emnqamlezweni wena
bakhala abantwana because I want to make sure that I'm nailing it.
Makulilwe namhlanje kuyakhalwa kuyahlekwa kuyacelebrate.
And I love that ukuthi in Hermanas there is actually the theater guys that they are doing, because that's where I started.
Wow.
Doesn't have to start on movies.
Is it advantage being a firstborn because mna ndi secondborn?
So wish I was the last born.
Yeah, you know,
so
all the benefits go to the last one.
Well, parent when a firstborn, slightly way that
deputy parent.
Yeah, deputy parent.
I can totally relate because I'm also an elder sibling.
No one.
I know. You learn everything yourself. There's no precedent that you learn from. You are the one in front.
It's very sad.
Into mhlawumbe into one like that stands out ngokukhulela kwakho eEastern Cape.
I andikhulela Eastern Cape because
Uzalelwe nje?
Ndizalelwe nje Eastern Cape, then attende i-crash apha kwakuphi eNomzamo.
When
No,
you're
Ezweni.
Nomzamo.
Yeah, there were white people there. Ngelaa xesha sisafunda pha eNomzamo, like wesifunde crash, then there were white people there.
Opposite
White
emaxhekweni.
Exactly. Mna attende i-crash pha, but listen here. Zandayigqiba i-crash, like xa kumele ndiye-crash ndazisigalela ngesandla.
Why will you crash drop out?
And then I'm a crash. And then my cousin but attend the crash border, and they were graduating but this like wow, I wanna be like them.
Dropped
But
out.
then when I drop out in Ndahamba Lalin, then umakhulu was a principal. Then what happened is that like I see esikolweni ndihamba naye, so I was a deputy principal right next to her.
Yo, levels.
Yeah. So one thing I learned about xa une-dream uselokishini is that kufuneka ube around like-minded people. That way i-dream yakho okanye une-passion mandisho ifumana more petrol. I would put it that way.
Yeah.
For wena, did you have that circle of people abamhlamba balingana nawe who would always remind you ukuthi hey Sandisile fanini kufuneka sibhalile so relaxa kufuneka si researchile mhlambi so relaxa? Do you have abantu abanjalo? Did you always have abantu abanjalo around?
At first it was just me and my dream. The passion, the drive, the fire, it was on me before anybody else, It was just me and my dream. And me trying to be realistic and pushing myself, like, listen, you have to write. No one will know you until you write. No one know you are great. You are a great writer until you start writing, And then you start positioning yourself. Nabanda benza the same thing. Nabanda banamaphupha dawako.
Yeah.
I cannot share a script with someone who doesn't have an interest in that, because I think uzalibulala lo phupha. Then I started shifting ilendo izonium to abantu abenza the same thing le endiyenzayo. Then that's why it has a contribution to where I am now and to where am I going. Listen, I decided, to answer your question actually, I had a friend of mine Ulendo. Who's this guy? I keep on forgetting amagama bantu.
Radio does that.
Yeah.
Radio does that. And then afterward, hey man, I should have mentioned.
I had a friend of mine, George. Whenever I have a script, I will send to George. I will send to Estelle. I think I mentioned them.
Yeah.
And then I shot my film this year. I decided no, you know what? I'm done with films. I'm quitting this thing. I don't wanna be a writer. I don't wanna hear a thing about writing. And then I because I had the problems as needs, I mentioned it, location permits up as Sokolisa, like no, I'm done doing this.
Yeah.
It's very stressful. I'm not gonna do it. And then there's a friend of mine, when I was quitting, he keeps on giving me gigs like, dude, and this will shoot a film. And I didn't go this year. I was busy telling them. I even told Bruce like, dude, please dad, don't call me
out.
Call me out, I'm done with this.
Hey.
But having people about Katalelayo and they know that you have this passion,
It reignites the fire.
Yeah. I started writing again and boom. We were shooting a short film earlier this year. Decided to extend it to a feature film. Because you have friends that hey, come on dude, you have to do this thing.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you've mentioned Bruce Retief.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was playing a very important role in our town. He works hand in hand with a lot of young people, sharing his skills, whether it's with Kalalo music, whether it's the film stuff. There's this particular film called 1960. That, according to information that I got, is that Bruce wrote it and produced it. And it's currently showing SHOWMAX.
Yes.
Ingathi yona ibi under ulanduka 43rd Durban International Film Festival.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yes. Your involvement, Glow Film.
Hey. I think maybe shoot on 2021. I think that was 2021. He mentioned that he wanna shoot the film, but he wasn't sure about the dates. in 2021. I was like, okay, and he told me like I have to be part of it. Since I'm very close to Bruce, so I had an access to the parts of the film as is shooting already.
Yeah.
So I saw the story, Basi story Sinjan, and it was a very amazing story. A story that would be like, I want to be part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why I wanted to be part of that story, it touches as black people. It is a story of a black person.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love my blackness. So everything that has to do with the story of a black person, I wanna be involved in that thing.
Because it's relatable. And
Yeah.
you've got so much to share on
so
it.
the story has to do with the apartheid in Ntlung yabantu abamnyama.
Mm.
And to take it back, because that 1960 I remember my grandma told me that during those days of apartheid era, amabhulu ebenofika nakubo lento platini endlini iplati iromos endlini amabhulu ebusuku, because my grandma was a principal. Ebusuku amabhulu afike, and then out of the blue, for what? And then kumele bezama iplan, like my mom and her sisters baphume babaleke bawubiza otata belale and say like, hey, na amapolisa amabhulu lapha, we don't know bafuna ntoni. I think umakhulu wam wayebe besengozini because she was a principal during the apartheid era. She was a woman, a black woman, trying to educate black children during those days. So in danger during those days.
Yeah.
So when this movie comes up and says it's 1960, it's a story of another woman, of a black, it's a story of another black woman that connects with apartheid. Like, I want to be part of this.
Wow. And I watched the movie, and it basically starts off, it's this old lady who is narrating the story, and it's sort of like, it's like flashbacks to what she grew up with. And the first thing I noticed, obviously I was like, oh my goodness, because the lead, Ngukok Flow, I don't know her real name. I don't know her real name, but Ngukok Flow,
I forgot the name of that lady. I forgot the name of that lady on that film. So I really say, I told myself, this is the film that I want to be part of it, because it has big people already.
It really is
I look forward to Abandon Kolbabugela even at TV, and now I have to work with them. It's a kind of a big break for me.
It is.
Yeah, so I like I'm doing this, but Abalunga Baskashayo.
Yeah.
It's something else. Really. Abalunga Baskashayo, it is really something else. There was a conflict there. I don't know if I should tell you now or later on.
So Samoyeni, feel free.
Let's go. Let's go. I just wanna paint another picture for you. We're telling a story of 1960 about apartheid, and now we are in 2021.
2020. Oh, back
It
back
was
then.
2021
During the shooting of the film.
Yes, and they're saying we are free. We have a freedom now.
Yes.
Listen, when I approached them, telling them, okay, listen up. Most about I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
You wrote on your walls that stop forecast.
Yeah.
Our film, we have a filmmaker now in our employment.
Yeah.
Then there were papers. They were so proud of me. Blah blah blah. Okay, like now that you know that
Now
I'm a
it's
filmmaker,
time.
now here's another opportunity for me.
Yeah.
I wanna go and shoot. They introduced me to one of those filmmakers that they used to come there at M17. Like, when we're shooting these international films, sometimes I'm a producer now for special screenings and all that. They did introduce me there because of international filmmakers. So they knew about my career.
Yeah.
I go there. So what happens is that I go to the lady and tell her, listen, there's a movie coming up, project that I have to do. I need to go there. Yeah. It's either for 1 day, if you cannot give me 2 days, but actually I want 2 days.
Then what happened?
That's where we had a conflict on that one. Because the only reason we have a conflict because so you're telling me as a black child, it's okay for Mnabaman cleanele in movie watchers like abantu abathanda movie ba man baklinele to come and watch movie when I can make a movie
yourself.
Exactly.
Oh, kusespani apho usibona
Yeah,
khona.
yeah.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Oh, buhalela uba bakunike opportunity yokuthi uhambe.
Yeah, and do shoot that with Bruce, that film.
Okay.
And then now the thing is abafuni abanivumeli bama I should go there and shoot.
Did they give you a specific reason?
They don't,
okay, asivume ngenxa yale.
they don't really have a specific reason.
Yo.
Bavela bathi nje no.
No, you can't go there. I'm like, I can go there. Oh no, you can't. Okay, watch me.
And this definitely also falls under some of the challenges that you faced in the production
as a
of this
black
movie.
person. Now we're talking about the 1960.
Yeah.
You know, then it
So now it
drives
starts
me
to
say
play
like, okay,
out.
we're not really free as black people, because if maybe it was a white person or umntana or umlungu evele said, I have this, and wow, congratulations, go, because I'm a black person, I want to do something big.
Yeah.
Now they say, no, you're not going there
Eish.
because I'm black. And then and then because I was raised by abantu who are so very brave, who made the changes in people's life. He was a shop steward.
Yeah.
So I knew imitated yabantu from a very young age, imitated yabantu abaphangelayo.
Yeah.
So I knew this is, and I did a public human resource management.
Yeah.
So I knew ukuthi this doesn't balance with this is not a good human resource, because you will allow a worker to have a skills development.
Yeah,
If I go make that film and then I come back, that film will be shown here
Yeah, definitely.
with my name on it, staff focused. But now you don't want to give me that opportunity. And then they fired me while I'm still at work. Like, Aibo. I'm still here at work. I haven't done anything. They fired me. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm cool. Like, let's do it. But the good thing is that we are in a good relationship now, because I came back there and I made a special screening for 1960. It was shown here in a cinema.
Wow.
I was busy.
Oh,
I was
this
the
is
one who organized it.
Just to give Ilanduka, if you okanye listener Ilanduka the picture
Yeah.
is that ubuphangela cinema already. We may not name lo cinema leyo. So ubufuna ukuthi uyoshuta le film so that it can come ibe shown cinema. So the whole thing leyo ungavunyelwa i-employer yakho yase cinema lebi ngakuvumela ukuthi take this 2 days uyoshuta. All right. Bro, ixesha lethu selifike kupheleni.
Yo, 2 minutes.
Show you
No, like 2
2 minutes. Yeah. Where to from now?
Wow. You know, currently now I'm busy fighting, actually, because not really fighting, but I'm busy trying to make Ilenti Hermanas a place where anyone can be comfortable in making a film. I'm working on my feature film. So while I'm busy working on my feature film, I want to be ISILILO or Hermanas to be a place where you can make a film comfortable without gatekeepers. We have departments, so sports and arts and culture, that they should be involved in quiz projects, but they are not. So as a public management, on a qualification now, I'm saying I'm challenging them to do their job. They must be visible.
I like that. Yeah, and I think it's nice when you have someone that specializes in that, you know.
Exactly, we're on that field now, and we're coming for them to make a change. It's just a challenge that, guys, please, pull up your socks.
I like that.
Okay, coming for them, Anilui, right?
No, down. No, like we really need to make a change, you know. And Babafage is skills development, because we cannot continue working. Now, when I say Cape Town, what they're here.
Yeah. And I think we can go on forever with this topic. I think just closing remarks, what would you tell your younger self? Just one thing.
My younger self, you know what? I can tell my younger self, like, you are enough.
Thank
you are enough.
Love that. Thank you.
Nice and short. Hey, I think kufuneka siphinde invite again next time.
There's still so much to cover, and that's why I was so hey.
Yeah.
You know where the danger is.
Yes. Okay, kukho abantu I'm sure who are very interested to find out ukuthi bangakufollow down. And remember, we talked about uthe you are willing and personally, open ukuthi unganikeza nge-guidance and things like that. So how can abantu get hold of you? Are you willing to share phone number yakho, or should they just contact you on social media?
Not my phone number.
Personal.
No, like I'm an introvert. I'm not even too much because in those social media. But I think they can reach me on Facebook. It's straight SANDISILE-THE.
An email address maybe?
On email address, it's SANDISILE-THE. It's sandisile.ndevu@gmail.com.
All right. I can feel ngusandisile wakwandevu. We author, storyteller, we produce films, and he's involved in these two films that we talked about, ISILILO-THE, The OUTCRY, as well as 1960. Please go check them out. ISILILO ngaifumana ku YouTube. Just go and type in ISILILO-THE, The OUTCRY ku YouTube. And then 1960, written and produced by Bruce Retief.
Yeah.
It's showing currently.
It's on Netflix.
No,
Showmax.
It's on Showmax.
It's on
It's on Showmax.
Wow.
Showmax.
Yeah. Okay. Ziyakhipha6to8 on Whale Coast FM. This is me saying goodbye.
Yeah, and this is me saying goodbye as well. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you again, same place, same time next week, Friday.
Yeah. Thanks for coming through, Veg.
it's a pleasure. Thank you for the platform. Thank you.
Sringa baya nabantu bonke who inspire start amandla ku interviews in pursuit of dreams and desires. Are you watching from ekhaya? Welcome. Sisi kumaphupho wakho wonke don't retire. Nope. Bude maphupeni wakho wonke don't retire. Subscribe. Ziyakhipha6to8. Spetty content yakho is a date. Cause are you relate? Subscribe. Ziyakhipha6to8. Spetty content yakho is a date. Cause are you relate? Ulindebali. Subscribe.